Today's lesson will be focusing on how to write introductions and arguments. The reason that I'm choosing this lesson specifically is looking over everyone's essays over the weekend and the week. I saw that a lot of you were struggling to write strong introductions, so I thought it'd be very important to go back through this lesson. And by the end of it, you will just be asked to answer the multiple choice questions that are a part of THINKCERCA for a score. So let's go ahead and begin. First, do you know that an effective introduction can spark a reader's interest and understanding of your ideas? Again, the introduction serves as your hook for why people should listen to you. It isn't just important in English and humanities that you learn how to do this, but for anything that you use in the future that requires you to argument or persuade someone. So, by the end of this lesson, you should be able to learn what information to include in your introduction, how to use creative techniques to capture the attention of the audience, and how to provide background information to help readers understand your ideas. All right, I'm going to give you a couple seconds to practice, and then we're going to move on to the next part. Once you're ready and done with the practice, please go ahead and move on to what is an introduction. So go ahead and pause this video recording, and then once you're done with the practice, just go ahead and resume. All right. For the next step, we're looking at what is an introduction. So the introduction is divided into three things: the hook, the topic, explanation, and the claim. The introduction is the first section of a written argument. All of you already know that. In an introduction, you're trying to capture the audience's attention, explain what the topic is, and then state your claim. Remember that your claim is what is your opinion based on what the topic is. You will learn more about the parts of the introduction in this lesson. Go ahead and answer this next question, and once you get it right, go ahead and move on to the next part. Hopefully you were able to answer that it was in the beginning of the argument. Which of the following should you include in your introduction? Your claim about the topic, saying what the topic is, evidence to support the claim, or a way to capture the audience's attention. I'll give you 30 seconds to a minute to answer this portion. All right. Hopefully you are able to figure out that in your introduction, you should have your claim, which is your opinion on the topic itself. You should tell us what the topic is that your paper is about, or your essay. You should not include evidence for your claim. That is going to be in your body paragraph. And yes, it is very important that in your introduction, you're finding a way to capture the audience's attention. Your introduction should capture an audience's attention. A strong introduction should build interest in your ideas. You can begin your introduction with a hook that captures the attention of your audience. As we've talked about in the past, your hook can be several different ideas. It can be a question, a statement, a statistic or fact, could be a story, or it can be an anecdote that leads into the topic. You explain your topic in your introduction. After you gain the attention of your audience, you should tell them what you're going to be writing about. Include a topic explanation in your introduction to familiarize your audience with the information that will help them understand the ideas in your argument. Why should your introduction state your claim? Your introduction should have a hook, topic explanation, and also include the claim. A claim states your position in the argument. You should state your claim in the introduction to establish a clear focus for the argument that follows. Parts to include in an introduction. We've already talked about these, so I will just go ahead and read the paragraph. There is a nutritious vegetable that does not require land or fresh water and can grow 20 inches per day. Many people grimace at the suggestion of eating seaweed, but sea vegetables like kelp have been the staple of Asian diets for centuries. Because of the environmental, health, and economic benefits of consuming sea vegetables, more people should eat kelp. Notice that the first sentence should be the hook. This hook, as you can see, is a statement. The second sentence is an explanation of what the essay is going to be about. In this case, we are going to be talking about seaweed and how it has been a staple for many cultures in what they eat. Finally is the claim, which is your opinion. What are you arguing in your essay? In this case, we're arguing that more people should eat kelp, which is a version of seaweed. How should you organize the different parts of an introduction? Use the next 30 seconds to answer the following question. To have a strong introduction, you should begin with a blank. Then provide your audience with a blank and end with stating your blank. All right. So hopefully you remember that you should always start with your hook. After your hook, you should explain what the topic is that you're talking about in your essay. And then finally, you should be ending with your claim. Good job. Which of the following, or in which part of the introduction would you do each of the following? Catch the attention of your audience. Is that the claim, topic, explanation, or hook? State your position of the topic, and give information to help your audience understand what the argument is about. I'll give you 30 seconds, and then we will move on. Okay. Hopefully you know that catching the attention of the audience, like we've talked about, is the hook. There are several ways to do that. Again, just review past notes to be able to understand that. Stating your position, that is the claim. And giving information to help your audience understand what your argument is about, that's explaining the topic. You can use statistics to capture your audience's attention. An introduction can begin with statistics, a piece of numerical data that may intrigue readers. For example, kelp captures 5 times more carbon than plants on land. Could lead to the claim that farming kelp can benefit the environment. Just as a reminder, you have the internet at your fingertips. Feel free to Google your topic and statistics to find the appropriate statistic that can be used as your hook. You can use bold statements to capture the audience's attention. Introductions can begin with bold statements. For example, sea vegetables are the future of farming. This statement could lead to a claim about the overall benefits of kelp. Think of what your claim is and what could be a statement that supports your claim. How can a writer capture the attention of an audience? In the next minute, go ahead and answer the following. If a writer wanted to capture the attention of an audience by providing numerical data about a topic, the writer should start with a blank. If the writer wanted to state an uncommon or controversial opinion on a topic, the writer would use a blank as a way to capture attention. Please click on the boxes below and choose the appropriate answer. You have 30 seconds. Alright, so again, numerical data, that is a statistic, and then a bold or uncommon or controversial opinion would be a bold statement. Check, and let's move on. Read each hook and determine if it's an example of a statistic or a bold statement. You have 30 seconds. $100 billion is spent every year on bottled water. Bottled water is not safer than tap water. Tap water tastes better than bottled water. More than 25% of bottled water comes from tap. $100 billion is spent every year on bottled water. That's a statistic. Bottled water not being safer than tap is a bold statement. Tap water tastes better than bottled water is an opinion, so that would be a bold statement. And then more than 25% of bottled water coming from tap, that would be a statistic. You can use a summary to explain your topic in an introduction. A summary briefly tells what others have said about a topic. It provides the most important information to help an audience understand the ideas of an argument. This shows an example of a summary in the introduction. Many people grimace at the suggestion of eating seaweed, but sea vegetables like kelp have been a major health staple of Asian diets for centuries. People should consume more kelp in their diet to benefit from nutrient-rich contents. You can explain your topic by saying why it is important. When an introduction explains the topic's significance or importance, it provides background information that tells your audience why people should care about a topic. This introduction explains the topic's importance. Modern agriculture takes a huge toll on the environment. The Earth's future depends on modern humans finding more sustainable food sources. People should eat more sea vegetables in their diet as a way to expand food options. Can you use the following to explain your topic in your introduction? You will have 1 minute to read the following and say whether it can be used to explain your topic or whether it can't be used to explain your topic in your introduction. Explain the importance of a topic. Give evidence to support your claim. State your claim in a different way. Provide a summary about the topic. Alright. Explaining the importance of a topic definitely can go in your introduction. Giving evidence does not go in your introduction, it goes in the body. Stating your claim in a different way, you are only stating the claim once in the introduction, so that wouldn't happen until later in the body, and then providing a summary on the topic. This explains the topic by telling why it is important. Did you know that tap water may be safer than bottled water? Americans spend $12 billion on bottled water each year, thinking it is safer than tap water. Safety is important and should come first. However, safety tests for tap water are stricter than those for bottled water, so tap water is less likely to be contaminated or cause infection. I'm going to give you 30 seconds to look over these sentences that are underlined and click on the one that explains the topic by telling why it's important. Hopefully you chose the second sentence, again talking about the safety with water and why it's important. Very good. Let's review what you've learned about introductions. Introductions are the first section of a written argument. A strong introduction captures the audience's attention, explains the argument's topic, and then introduces the argument's claim. Again, when I read over the essays, a majority of you went straight to the claim instead of starting with a hook and an explanation of the topic. In order to get full credit, you need to make sure that you have both a hook and a topic explanation as well as the claim. Here's an example of a well-written introduction. There is a nutritious vegetable that does not require land or fresh water and can grow 20 inches per day. Many people grimace at the suggestion of eating seaweed, but sea vegetables like kelp have been a staple of Asian diets for centuries. Because of the environmental health and economic benefits of farming and consuming sea vegetables, more people should eat kelp. Notice that what makes it a stronger introduction is that it's not just the claim. The statistic as a hook and the summary to explain the topic are all part of the introduction. Highlight the sentence that captures the audience's attention in the following introduction. 30 seconds. There have been a 60% reduction in the number of beehives in the United States since 1947. Honeybees pollinate food crops, but are in crisis due to the widespread use of bee-harming pesticides. Since feeding the world's population will be nearly impossible without honeybees, it is time to ban pesticides that are threatening their existence. Again, all hooks should always be the first sentence. Read the introduction. Could dark chocolate be a health food? For thousands of years, cocoa, which is the primary ingredient in dark chocolate, has been highly valued for its medicinal properties and its ability to improve people's health. Which part is missing from this introduction? The hook, the topic explanation, or the claim? 30 seconds. Okay. Hopefully you notice that the first sentence is a question, which is a hook, and the second sentence gives us an explanation of cocoa as the topic. But notice that there's no opinion. So the thing that's missing from this introduction is the claim. All right. So at this point, just go ahead and go through the quiz. As you go through the quiz, remember that you can use the tool Read Aloud to have the quiz read to you. but you can use the rest of this time to go ahead and review what you need to do. If you are missing anything or forgot anything, feel free to go back through this video to get any pointers that you may have forgotten. Good luck, and I hope to see you at office hours.